Let me get over where I can see it. Yeah, there we go. How's that one? That probably sounds a little better. Instead of coming through the computer, we'll make it come through the camera's mic there. So let's check the settings real quick. Hit the audio. There we go. Yep, now we should be good. All right, good. So that's 2 cups, right? Yeah, you got to have a decent memory anyway for making this kind of stuff. Always when I do this, when I scrape it off, I always do it flat side down so that it doesn't get a dip in it. So that's 3. And we can call that about 4. Now you're going to need some more flour for when you're mixing all this up. Now this isn't a knead bread. You don't need this stuff, okay? It's going to look real rough, all right, when you put it in to get it taken care of. But you don't want to stretch it. You don't want to knead it a lot. Work it as little as you possibly can, okay? That's real important. So after the 4 cups of the flour, you know, I can show you this. So you're supposed to use buttermilk with this. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't have buttermilk on hand, okay? If you've never had, or if you've never made buttermilk before, honestly, it's just regular milk and an acid. You can use, a lot of people like to use lemon juice. I'm just going to I did use lemon juice before, but I'm going to use white vinegar. So you grab 2 cups of milk, okay, sitting there, and I got my white vinegar in my redneck jar. 1, 2, and you just mix it. And you mix it for a little bit. Honestly, again, it's going to be fine. And then while you're getting your other ingredients out and ready, this will actually thicken up a bit till it's about the consistency and usefulness of buttermilk. So, throw that in the sink. Put our redneck jar lid on. Set that puppy right over there. Now again, that'll do what it's going to do. We don't have to care. We'll just ignore it. Pretend you're married to it. Let it go. Okay? So we got our flour. We got our baking soda in here. We need a teaspoon of salt. Now, if you're like me, you'll need new teaspoon stuff, new measuring spoons. But here's our salt. And sprinkle it all over, make it look pretty. Hi, what are you doing?
I found the lights to the...
You found the lights to the dinosaur thing that we made?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll work on that later. I got to do this now.
I know.
All right. It's bedtime. It's 10 o'clock. Love you. Good night.
Good night.
All right. What are you going to do, kids? So honestly, those are the 4 main ingredients that are going to go into this. You know, that is your basic, and I mean basic, Irish soda bread. And there's not a lot of complexity to it. Grab the fork so I can mix it around. Just get it all nice and mixed up. That's your 4 basic ingredients. Now, when I do the cinnamon and sugar one, okay, I add, well, cinnamon and sugar. Now, how much sugar do you add? I don't know. How about that? You think that looks good? Maybe a little more? You can't mess it up. Okay? You're good. Then what I like to do is I take my cinnamon, okay, and I mix the cinnamon in, and I put a good bit in there at first, okay, and then you mix it around. And if you can really, really smell the cinnamon, if you can smell it really well, then you know you've got enough in there. If, when you're looking at this, and you can take a look at it, if when you're looking at it, if it looks too light for you, add a little more. You know what I mean? So if you think that's not enough cinnamon, go like this. There you go. Congratulations. And just mix it back in. And you'll really, honestly, you'll really be able to tell when it's done, when it smells. Like, you'll be able to smell that cinnamon inside of this bread. And it comes out just like a Cinnabon kind of a thing. It's pretty cool. So here's our buttermilk. It's been sitting for, just a couple minutes. It doesn't need long. Some people say 5-10 minutes, but I don't know. I can see, because I'm here, that it was already thickening up at the top. So it's getting pretty much ready. Now, I don't know about you, but I like to keep things clean. We'll need this later. We'll get to that in a minute. Then when you're done mixing everything, we'll show you how to put it in. But it goes in for almost an hour. You know, you got to put it in for 425 for 15 minutes. Pop the temp down to 350, and then let that run for 30 to 40 more minutes after that. So, yeah, it takes a while to cook, but it's worth it in the end because you want to get it done right. Okay, so now put the old buttermilk in, or buttermilk substitute, whatever you want. Now carefully take your cup, put it in the sink. Carefully. Now I could just go in here with my hands and mix all this up, but that makes a mess like you wouldn't believe. So if you have a dough mixer, I guess you could use it, but you don't need one for this because you're not kneading it. You're not kneading this bread to stretch the gluten and do all that other happy joy stuff. So you mix it up. You mix it up until you think it's the right consistency, and it should be mildly tacky but not sticky. You don't want this stuff sticky. See how it is sticking on here like crazy? Add a little bit more flour. Okay. Oh, Ben said that he did get me a chef's hat. We haven't had a chance to see him because I went down to a convention over the weekend, and again we did talk about that already. I don't know if I talked about it on BSO or not, but yeah. So I went to the convention and I didn't get to see him, but we did rep Big Sexy Outdoors down there. It was pretty awesome. Met a lot of good people. You know, I'm gonna take my accurate measuring tool of about this much. I'll just add a little bit more flour to it. Again, you're not going to see me take this out of here and knead it. You might see me mix it a little more by hand once it gets less sticky, but you will not. I won't sit here and knead it for 10, 15 doggone minutes because that'd drive me insane. So I don't know if anybody's watching. I can't see that far. Again, this was unplanned, so I don't expect anybody to be. But what do you know about Irish soda bread? Okay, I'll give you a couple minutes to answer while I'm mixing this up. But tell me what you know about it, because it's important. There is actually lore and so on behind the scenes of this stuff. And I thought it was kind of neat. You know, personally, I don't believe in all of the the supernaturally stuff, but still pretty cool. Still pretty cool. Just needed a little bit more flour to make it a little less sticky. So I'm going to take my fork, carefully deposit it in the sink. Now, I like to gather everything up inside of here. Just move it around a little bit. It ain't going to hurt nothing. And then you flip it. Do you have to do the flip? No, not even a little bit, but I do. And then I, give it an educated guesstimate shape. Grab some more flour, put it on your hands, because it is going to be, if it's too sticky, again, it's not going to be right. And then I don't knead it, I just shape it. Okay? Take it, shape it, nice and pretty, right? Okay. Now, if you wanted, you could egg wash the top of this thing, or you could add more buttermilk to the top of it. Not necessary, you don't have to. What is necessary is Bertha. This one right here. Okay? That's my big cast iron skillet. I take it, I line it with parchment paper, right? Carefully put, yes, please carefully put, don't throw the bowl. Okay? I may be crazy, dumb, and stupid, but I'm not all three. You take this, you set it in there, and you get it so that it gets out to, and it'll naturally just sit there and chill, out to about the sides. Now, I like to let the bread just sit and rise for a minute or two, and the minute or two is just to give the oven a chance to heat up. In fact, I don't even have the oven on yet. I don't like to touch it with the dirty hands, so I'll wash my hands, and then we'll get right on that. It'll just take me a second here. But yeah, so again, what do you know about the Irish soda bread? Well, one of the things they say about it, again, you'll hear my Dutch coming out. One of the things they say about it is you got to bless the bread, okay? You got to cut across into it, and then you got to cut the four corners to let the fairies out of it. Why? Otherwise, it'll curse your bread, and it won't rise. It won't be any good. That's what they tell me. Honestly, it's for aeration to let air come into it. So what you do, you just take it, slice it across, and then in each of the corners, stab it like it owes you money. Okay? Put that in there, and yes, I will clean up or else the old lady will kill me. All right, so then you take this, you put it in a 425-degree oven for about 15 minutes. Okay? And after that 15 minutes, you turn it down to 350 for about a half an hour, maybe 40 minutes. All depends on your stuff. Okay? So I'm going to set this over here. Again, I don't have the oven on yet. And I'm going to show you. Even grab a handy-dandy plate because we got everything on there. Now, this is one that I did earlier. Okay? You can smell the cinnamon coming off of it, but importantly, a couple of ways you can tell if it's done is the old toothpick method, You stick your toothpick in, if it comes out wet or doughy, you ain't done yet. Or you tap it, and it sounds hollow. Okay? If it sounds hollow, you're done. And again, these are not meant to be pretty looking, unless, you think rustic bread is pretty. But that's between you and God. And, yeah. So what we're going to do now for my Irish soda bread, it's not complete because it's the cinnamon sugar one without the white glaze that goes on top. Now, did you ever get like a cinnamon roll or a donut or something that has the glaze? That's what we're going to do next. Okay? And it's not really complex at all. It's actually quite simple. And Kat said she wouldn't have any of the bread. She was just waiting for me to do this. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this part yet until, the end of the video. So she might be watching. I don't know. Or she might have gone to bed because it is getting late. 1. And 2 of these. Maybe we'll need more. We'll see. Oh, I did forget. Hold on. I forgot to grab the milk out of the fridge. What are you doing?
I'm looking for a blanket that I can bring to the audience.
Kids. All right. So you take about a cup and a half of powdered sugar. Grab your tablespoon. This is my half tablespoon because I don't have any more real ones. And you need 4 about tablespoons of milk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 redneck spoons of milk. Oh, I did spill some. Let's put a little more in there. Is it going to hurt if you put more in? No. Maybe you have to add more sugar and something like that. Now we get 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Now it's very carefully measured teaspoons. There. Then we'll taste it and see what it looks like. Take it, mix it all up. Dun, 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 dun. And it should be a little bit on the thicker side, because it's supposed to be a vanilla glaze for on top of your breads, on top of whatever you want to glaze with it. Honestly, I think this is one of the more complex parts of it, is just making this thing up. Yeah, make it a little bit thicker. There we go. See, I can see there was some kind of comments from way back here. But honestly, that thing is so far away, I can't see it. Too bad Big Sexy couldn't get on. That would have been cool. But there you go. A good chef always tastes their stuff, and it tastes just like it. So now you would take this, and you would grab a spoon and drizzle it over the bread. And then usually, I never see another piece of it. So there you go. And then sometimes I'll save some just so they can dip in later or add more later after they cut it. There you go, cinnamon sugar, Irish soda bread with this glaze stuff. And it's not hard. Yeah, see, it only takes a few. The longest thing is just waiting for the dang thing to bake in there. And that's all you got. That's it. All right, so let me know what you think. Hit the old like, share, subscribe, whatever. Say hi to Big Sexy if you see him, if I don't get to see him soon. In the meantime, good luck. Have fun. I'm going to hit the stop on this. We'll see you in a minute.